What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Austin. This is Morning Coffee, the show where I talk about productivity, efficiency, and systems. Drink my morning coffee. Today, I'm talking about soloing whitewater. I just got out here. That's where I'm sticking my boat for today. The way that I do this is I park my boat hidden up here somewhere so that people can't find it, hopefully, at the put-in. Then I'm going to drive my truck down to the base, jump in my bike, ride my bike back up to the top. It's about a 9-mile for this river. It's about a 9-mile bike ride. And then once I get up here, I'll switch out my bike for the boat, ride the boat back to the truck, get in, come pick up my bike. So that's the system. I'm testing out a ton of new gear and equipment today. New personal flotation device, new multi-sport watch so that I can track all my activities. And I'm shooting this whole thing on my new Galaxy S10. So lots of new gear. Anyway, my truck is back up this way, so I'm gonna head that direction. So I just made a GPS dot for my location, and I'm gonna have to use my hands to work this. Save, edit my save, name it. I'm gonna go up and name this one. There's Salt River Put-in. I'm gonna call it a swimming spot. They don't really have anything for whitewater paddling, so with my elevation and everything, cool. So now I should be able to navigate back to this spot pretty easily. Hopefully that got caught on the camera. Those are the stairs where I'll be pulling my boat out later, and we're taking off from this point. Cycle time. So I'm almost to the end of the cycle portion of this trip, and you can see right there the point that I dropped earlier. Here I can see my aerobic activity. I've slowed down a little bit. This is the lap distance. So far I've been 7.41 miles. I think it's right about 8 miles from the base of the river to the other point, and then my time and everything. You go back to the clock. But I'm going to keep it right here on this. Oh, keeps changing my focus point. Okay, I'm going to keep it right here on this menu so that I can see where that point is when I get off this road. Okay, made it back to the boat. Man, that was the hard part. Looks like it was a solid 8.03 miles. 9.3 miles per hour is really not that bad, considering on flat surfaces I'm normally going about 10 miles per hour. So that was really hilly, so I'm actually pretty happy with that speed. Anyway, rock and roll, here we go. I'm gonna grab the boat and take it out to the water. Boom, this would be a great place to put into the river. I dropped it right at the right spot. Rock and roll. On the watch, I think I'm gonna do just a basic track me, because there's no paddling app. So there should be a whitewater app. I hope somebody makes one. But anyway, this is the put-in. I'm gonna throw on my life vest and get everything situated. I've got my lunch for the day. It's gonna be my MRE. I've got 2 paddles just in case I lose one. My life vest, and I got a green tea as well as all the water that I brought. So should be a good run. Boom. Here I am out on the river. It might rain on me, which would kind of suck. Yeah, mountains over there, those are pretty cool. Try to get some center focus going on here. Sometimes my phone likes to pull focus 2 places I don't necessarily want to be. Let's see where I'm at. I'm about a quarter mile down the river. Right there. A little less than a quarter mile. It might rain on me. I'm kind of worried about that. I do have a poncho in case that happens, but I'm gonna be pretty mate tagged here in a minute anyway because the rapids are gonna start. I mean, this is a pretty chill river, so most of the class 1s. There's one pretty nasty one towards the middle that's like a class 2, maybe a early class 3. I'm gonna try to avoid that when there's two routes that the river takes, one toward the heavier rapid and one towards the lighter one, just because of the fact that I'm alone and it's kind of cold out. I'm gonna try to track away from the heavier rapid because I don't want to get that wet. I'm also wearing a cotton shirt, which was probably a bad decision. Anyway, onward and upward we go. I'm not going to get any action shots because right now I'm filming on my phone, which is waterproof, but I don't have any way to mount it so that you can like see my perspective when I actually do the rapids. So unfortunately, when I did the Verde River, I sank my boat under a beaver dam and also lost my GoPro off my head. So hopefully I won't lose anything this time around. All right, so I got good news and I got bad news. Bad news first, because that's the type of person I am. I hit that one heavy rapid right in the face. I got smacked with it. There was no way around it. Bad news is I forgot to drop a pin on it on my GPS watch. I would really like to drop a pin on that spot so that I know that it's coming up in the future, especially if I'm paddling with other people, because it's a pretty dangerous section. I mean, not death dangerous, but lose your boat type dangerous. So I would say it's a pretty heavy class 2, if not a class 3. Everything past this point is going to be super chill water. However, I am at this point. This is the other piece of good news. This is where the first commercial shuttle comes, and I beat it by a good 20 minutes, I think. What time is it? Yeah, good 20 minutes before the first commercial shuttle comes to here, which means there should be fairly few people down the river past me as long as I keep paddling good. So I'll have the river pretty much to myself past this point. Anyway, sucks to hit that one rapid. I got pretty much mate tagged. My phone is holding up though, and its waterproof capabilities, so good deal. I was going to put it into a waterproof housing, but it doesn't fit with the case that it's got on it, so I'm just trusting the waterproofness of the phone. Anyway, here we go. Well, I'm halfway through my run. It's time for a cigar and my green tea. So I got my green tea out. I'll show you how all my gear is situated later, but I've got my camelback in between my legs here, and I just push that down and then pull my skirt over the top of it. And then to my left I've got food. This is my left hip. I've got food and drink back that way, and I've obviously got extra water in my camelback. So I always like to bring at least one sweet drink to have with my cigar or with my food. For food, I brought an MRE, and it's supposedly a whole day's worth of food, but you're not really going to get a whole day's worth of food out of one of those things. But the reason I brought it is not because I actually plan on eating out here. The reason I brought it is because this is a 6-hour trip, roughly. I think I scheduled 6 hours for it. If something happens and I end up on the river for 9, 10, 11, 12 hours, like what happened to me last time I did a solo trip, I want to have something to eat just in case, so that's kind of an emergency food ration. And then, but yeah, I usually like to have my tea. I think there's some tea in the MRE as well, so I could potentially use water out of my camelback and put it in the tea bottle, and then have a little bit more tea if I wanted it. But I'm about halfway through the run, probably a little more than halfway through the run. 4.49 miles so far. I accidentally hit the lap button, so that 13 minutes is incorrect. That's saying that's what my lap is. So I'll have to wait until the end of the trip to know what my overall time was. But anyway, a little more than halfway. Rock and roll. I can hear a rapid on the horizon. Man, look at that. Hey guys, I don't want to scare you away. Just wanted to take some video. Hey horsey. Nice. A couple of colts too. Alright. Little baby rapid coming up. Boom. There was another section where the river got a little cute again. But I made it out. I wasn't ready for it. I didn't have my spray skirt on. I got sprayed a little bit. But I'm almost to the end of the run. You can see, if you look at my watch, you can see that's the Salt River takeout point right there that I'm going to. So should be coming up on it pretty quickly. Whew. There's my truck. GPS right on the dot. What's up, guys? I just want to do a quick recap of the trip, the things that I used. The watch that I was using is the Garmin Fenix 5X, and I am super sold on it now. I wasn't for the longest time. Even after I bought it, I was kind of like, man, that was a whole lot of money. I kind of wish that I hadn't spent that much on it. I was thinking about taking it back, but after using it on the trip, it's really fantastic. I've used it on a hiking trip now. I've also used it on a couple biking trips and on the one that you just watched. And I'm totally sold on it. I'm definitely going to keep it. It's super legit. I'm also super happy with the video quality that I got on the Galaxy S10. And I'm probably going to do full reviews on each of these devices later. I feel like that last video can almost be a review of the Fenix 5X already. But I'm definitely going to use it some more, put it through its paces, get some more information before I do a full review. I'll also probably do a review on the S10 as a kind of photographer, videographer, YouTuber tool. It's really, really cool and really solid, and I like it a whole lot. So I'm just going to post the screenshots from the two events so that you can see the route that I took. It is the lower Salt River, so it's super safe. I do want to say that I am breaking all of the rules of river running. And honestly, on the lower Salt, it's not that dangerous, but even on a safe river or a river that you think is super safe, you got to be aware that there is a very real possibility you could lose everything in your boat and everything that's not absolutely strapped to your body. So going on the river alone is not the safest thing in the world. I would not recommend it for anybody unless you are, incredibly skilled and have all the abilities. The main thing is you got to be 100% prepared to lose everything in your boat and hike out of there. You also have to be 100% prepared to self-rescue in the water. And if you don't have the tools, capabilities to do that, then you shouldn't be running the river. Also, the other thing that I would say is if you're just getting into whitewater, you should never, ever, ever trust what people say about a river as far as, whether it's a class 1, class 2, class 3 rapid. There's so many rivers that you can run that people will always say all day long, oh, there's a class 1-2, class 1-2, it's super easy. And then you get there and it's like a class 3 with a ton of strainers and trees and rocks and all this stuff falling in front of you. And if you're doing that alone, it can be super dangerous. As I demonstrated by losing my camera, my point and shoot camera that I took on the Verde River trip. I lost my GoPro, I lost my whole boat, everything inside of it, and I had to hike out of there. And that's one of the reasons that I went with the Garmin watch, is because if that ever happens to me again, now I have GPS capabilities to hike out even if I'm in a very remote area like the Verde River. A lot of the sections of the Verde are not really close to the highway. You're in the middle of the wilderness with everything lost out of your boat. You got to hike back to the road, and you got to know what direction to go and all that stuff. So definitely the watch. I'm also going to use it for hunting. I'm going to use it for hiking and a bunch of other stuff, tracking my cycle rides and all that stuff. Yeah, definitely future review on the Garmin, definitely future review on the S10. Disclaimer, don't do what I just did. Don't run rivers solo. Go with friends. And if you are going to run a solo river, I would highly suggest that you run it several times with people first, and then go and do the solo trip with the bicycle. It's definitely exciting. It's definitely challenging in a way that doing a river with people is not challenging. And even a low-class river that people tube down all the time can be really challenging if you're trying to do it by yourself. So anyway, wake up in the morning, have yourself a cup of coffee, and then go out and kill it.